Hello, my friends, my oyster friends to be exact. We have patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. All right, so we're starting off with a hiding your light under a bushel vibe. I'm also kind of wondering if maybe you are someone who is interested in or looking for their purpose, their dharma, however you think of it, but we'll see. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires in life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. All right, so we're off to an interesting start. Next, we have the whale, great worry over nothing. I can definitely see where an oyster person would worry a lot about what will others think. Isn't that why you keep your light under the bushel? Anyway, let's see what else is going on here with these tea leaves. These should be helping you determine whether or not this is your reading. So everything should be familiar to you in some form or fashion. We have financial pinch and getting back to basics. 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. But also increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. So that's really interesting because there's a real kind of conflicting approach there. Perhaps you have had good luck. Perhaps you think you're going to have good luck. Jeffrey Allen is someone else that I have a great deal of respect for. And one of the things he says is that you do have to act, which may be an issue for oyster people. Not that you aren't willing to get things done, but when it comes to your own personal desires, your own inner gifts, your inner talents, do you act on them? We have, what really concerns me is we have the dragon here. It says, beware of self-delusion. So I'm wondering if you are deluding yourself in some way about your goals or how you are going to achieve them. And then we have compliments from an admirer. Of course, that can be good or bad if it's someone that you don't particularly want admiring you, or of course it can be good if it's somebody that you are interested in, or somebody whose respect you value. And then again, there's the possibility that you are misunderstanding or misinterpreting the situation in some way. Okay. Let's see what your tarot has to say. What does my oyster friend need to hear? King of Swords. Okay, so that's being very... Oh, Two of Cups. So King of Swords, being very much in the mind. Intelligent, intellectual, taking a mental approach to problems and solutions and everything in between. But underlying this, we have the Two of Cups. Now we have the Four of Swords. Well, I can see where there's some integration needing to be done. The Four of Swords can be about contemplation, reflection, integration. And King of Swords, who is also dealing with Two of Cups, would have a great... That would be very challenging for them. The Two of Cups, of course, being about connection to someone else. I see it as a certain level of tentativeness. The potential is there, but maybe it's a little scary. Maybe you're deluding yourself about it, or maybe you're just afraid that you're deluding yourself about it. So, on the one hand, we have the Four of Swords, the need for stillness, perhaps. These are all in crossing positions, the teeter-totter positions, neither here nor there. Given this compliments from an admirer and this Two of Cups in reverse, or Two of Cups in that crossing position, that's interesting. The Hermit showed itself a couple times before it came out. I think you just want to withdraw from the whole situation, and maybe that's the right thing to do. So on the one hand, we have the Four of Swords and the Two of Swords. So there's stagnation, or is it reflection? Is it time to move, or is it time to stay still? We have the Hermit coming out on top, suggesting that it is time to stay still, or at least that's what you're tending towards. The Hermit, of course, goes inside their cave to find their own inner light, their inner guide, with the intention or the purpose of coming out and sharing that light with others, which may be a challenge for you as the oyster person. You may be perfectly comfortable with hermiting, but are you comfortable with coming out of your cave and sharing what you have learned, or at least letting others see it or know about it who might benefit from your light? The Hermit's journey ends with being seen and heard, not with hiding. Okay, so let's see what the universe wants to say to you. Oops, sorry about that. Interesting. I can easily see you being established, ambitious, experienced, having a great deal of achievement in some regard as the King of Swords. But now we have the Phoenix, the time for rebirth. Possibly the old you being burned away so that the new you can be seen and heard, can come to the fore. And that might be scaring the crap out of you. Reasonable, completely rational response, but not necessarily the right response. This is interesting. Writing, making contact, some sort of communication about making a date with someone. I'm getting the sense that you're really feeling a very strong urge to do this and a very strong reluctance to do this. We have Metamorphosis, hardly a surprise when you have the Phoenix card out. And going places. A journey coming up for you? Or it doesn't have to be a physical journey. It could be a mental, emotional, developmental journey. Especially with the Metamorphosis card and the Phoenix card already here. All right. What's next? Oh. Well. Perhaps the person on your mind is at a distance. Definitely a lot of passion there. And maybe you have been hiding your feelings. Then again, if we have longing, yearning, that's not exactly balanced, but we also have the raccoon, the problem solver, creative, entrepreneur, resourceful, which of course you would be. You are the King of Swords. That's interesting. And here's the problem. Illness, fatigue, stress, deteriorate, loss, theft, reduction, filth, decay, irritation, worry, fear, anxiety, waste, nagging. So there's some reason why you really don't want to be seen or heard. I don't know what that reason is, but you definitely believe it's a good reason. Okay. I believe that's the second time these two cards have come out. I wasn't sure about them the first time, so I didn't take them. But here they are. Rising above. Rising above this mess. Definitely have a problem to be solved. And it's going to require strategy, skill, focus, and a transition. That's probably what that travel card is about. Transitioning from one state to another. One state of being to another. Wishes do come true. Feeling blessed, hopeful. Messenger movement, again with the travel. Green light. Progress. Yeah, definitely getting forward movement rather than travel. Wanting to be the big boss, huh? And communicate. Building a bridge. That's very important. So you can collaborate with others. Harmony, compromise. Okay, yeah. All right. So the person on your mind, well, you or the person on your mind, it is a woman. Or identifies that way. It looks like you want to strut your stuff for the person that you are interested in, and you want to build a bridge so that there can be a real connection, real collaboration, sharing, harmony, compromise, overcoming barriers. Maybe you think you need to be successful before you can do this. That's not really the case. Although I can certainly understand the impulse. I feel like I'm not quite done with this deck, oddly enough. One more row. Yikes. So this may be what you want to do. The reality we have is a feeling of isolation, separation, perhaps being in a volatile situation, a hostile environment. Really wanting, I think, this new aspect of this very innocent, spontaneous, carefree, tender aspect of yourself still exists in spite of all of this trouble, this hostile environment. And I think that is your hidden light, or at least that's where your hidden light is hiding out, I guess. And you've been protecting it. But it's still there. And it wants to connect with this person. And I bet they would love to meet that aspect of you. I don't know if you're ready yet. This also says refuge and protected. So the question is, are you just simply afraid to let this aspect of yourself be seen and heard? Or are you truly in some kind of a toxic situation where it would be dangerous in some way for this childlike aspect of you to come to the fore? Let's see what the Shaman's deck has to say. Earth and Pachamama? Completion. Didn't even see that. And Ouroboros. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, Pachamama 40, Earth 17, and Completion 9. I'm going to read them in that order. Oh, no, I'm not, because I opened right up to Earth. Okay, 17, Earth, the essence. Earth represents the gift of life. The symbol on this card refers to the body of the planet Earth, the human body, and nature herself. We're reminded by this symbol that all creatures are born of the earth, and human beings are the stewards of all life on this planet. It refers to what we make of it, our health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity, and stability. It reminds us that the world of form is a gift from spirit and needs to be treated with respect. The invitation. When the earth symbol appears, it represents a need to focus on reverence and appreciation for the natural gifts that are coming to you now and always. The concrete world you inhabit is there by the grace of spirit, and you are part of it. Much can be accomplished now when you focus on compassionate, reverent service to the world. If you act with integrity, gratitude, and humility, you will find yourself more prosperous than you can imagine. Success is assured when the earth appears as an invitation. The medicine. Do you feel ungrounded or easily thrown off your path lately? It is time to focus on what nurtures you, to open yourself to the healing of Mother Earth and see the abundant world around you. Perhaps you have lost the ability to trust that your needs will be met and have fallen prey to poverty consciousness. Perhaps you've not been eating well, been overworked and stressed, and forgotten to breathe in the beauty of your surroundings. When the spirit of earth comes as your medicine, you're being reminded that when you practice self-care, take a walk in nature, and focus on the consciousness of abundance, miracles can and do happen. Interesting. All right. I'm going to try going to 40 now. Here we go. Pachamama, the essence. Pachamama represents the unconditional love that the earth has for all her children, including the stones, the plants, the animals, and humans. She is the goddess of earth, also known as Gaia, who pervades all creation in our planet. Thanks to Pachamama, our timeless soul can experience life in a biological body. The joy and pain we taste during our brief time on earth are invitations to discover the boundless loves of Pachamama. The invitation, you are a child of the earth. Now is the time to eat right, love right, and be joyous, regardless of the circumstances you may find yourself in. Be grateful for your life, your body, and all that nourishes you. Pachamama invites you to relish each breath, embrace your joy and your pain equally, and discover love through both. Let Pachamama know how much you appreciate all her blessings with an act of service, such as planting a tree, helping save an endangered species, or protecting the ocean. The medicine. You still believe that you have been cast out of the Garden of Eden, that you are motherless and homeless. You suppose that you need to work very hard to survive or thrive. It is time to stop suffering. Let go of that old myth and realize you were given the garden to rejoice in and to become its steward. Your melancholy is really a longing to return to the heart of Pachamama. Listen deeply to the mother who is always there for you. Walk in beauty. Honor all life. And finally, number 9, completion. I think it's odd that this one is so early in the deck. Completion, the essence. All things have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is the nature of life, the seed, the flower, and the fruit, and all of human relationships. Completion suggests the fullness of the moment and the need to transform an old form into a new one. The invitation, you have finished a cycle and there is no more growth or benefit from hanging on to the old. In regard to relationships, it is time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future. In your ventures, it is time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebration. It is the end of summer when the fruit is ripe. The medicine. Clinging to the old form will bring only decay. When fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. You know that it is time to move on, yet you are reluctant. Do not be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. Remember that you are responsible for your actions, not the actions of others. Mourn what is lost so you can move on. Do not be sad. Be like the sun at midday who shines brightly, neither longing for sunrise nor dreading the dusk. Okay. This card is an implication of new beginnings. It looks like you've been through scary, difficult times. And that's understandably made you cautious, nervous, perhaps given you this poverty mindset. And it seems like you are being told to trust that it is safe to be you and to act on the parts of yourself that you have hidden, or at least allow them to be seen. So I am wishing you all the best, and I will see you again.